and welcome to another edition of Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin. We have returned to the Elgin Heritage Center here at 460 Sunset Drive. We are joined now by Manager of Economic Development and Tourism, Carolyn Cron. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kate.
So Carolyn, tell us a little bit about what you do in your role as Economic Development and Tourism Manager.
In my role, I work with local businesses to help promote the many unique products and opportunities and experience available in Elgin County. So that has a tie to tourism as well. So we have many unique products, but also many unique experiences, from farm to table experiences to experiences at the beach as well.
Great. And do you have any exciting events coming up for 2023?
We absolutely do. So on May 27th, we're hosting the Ride the Whistle Stop event, and you can jump on your bicycle, start at Railway City Tourism in St. Thomas and make your way to the Elgin Heritage Center. And here you'll be able to enjoy different crafts, a high wheel bicycle demo, and lots of refreshments.
Incredible, and that's quite a tie-in to what we see here today with us.
Absolutely, and while you're at the Heritage Center, stop in and see their amazing bike display.
Great. Now, on top of the events that you just mentioned, there's other events that you have listed in the tour guide.
Absolutely. So we have our new 2023 tour guide, and at the back of the tour guide, you'll find a listing of all the local events happening in 2023. So we're excited that our new tourism cruiser will be out and about this year and stopping at all of those events. So drop in at the Elgin County Tourism booth when you visit these local events and learn more about the many things happening in the area.
Great. And as we get out and about, food is so important. And what's Elgin County doing in relation to food in the region?
Well, I'm excited to announce that we are releasing a new culinary guide in partnership with the City of St. Thomas. So funded by the Tourism Relief Fund, we've developed a new culinary guide that highlights the many unique experiences and flavors of Elgin County. So from maple syrup to fish and chips to local farmers markets, there's something for everyone to enjoy and experience in the food guide.
Great. So how does the Savor Elgin guide flow? Is there a map? How can people navigate their way around through the Savor Elgin?
Absolutely. So the Savor Elgin guide will highlight the different experiences. So it starts with maple syrup stops, and then listing different places where you can enjoy maple syrup treats. For the fish and chips, again, we'll highlight the best local places to drop into to taste local fish and chips. And also at the end, there is a map that will help you drive your way around Elgin County to try all of these tasty foods.
Incredible. And we wouldn't be able to have all this incredible food if it weren't for our farmers. And you recently just had a Women in Agriculture event. Tell us about the incredible women who are working in the agriculture industry here in the county.
Absolutely. So we're fortunate to have many incredible women who are leaders in agriculture in Elgin County. And we did recently host an event to highlight these women and the incredible work that they do. So from Misty Glen Creamery, Chris provides amazing farm fresh cheese curds, to Victoria Spencer at Blue Groves Farms, where you can pick your own blueberries, and Harris Flower Farms, where Janice has beautiful blooms, and in the summer you can drop in and enjoy the sunflower maize. So just incredible women doing great things, and you can drop by each of their establishments to enjoy their produce.
So farm to table is so important to Elgin County, and agriculture too. Is that really at the center of the focus of Elgin County's economic development and tourism?
Absolutely. Agritourism is significant in Elgin County, and we're fortunate to have an excellent rural way of life where people can see how their produce, how the food is grown, and then taste or experience that food at local restaurants. So there's this relationship between local food producers and local restaurants, and you can experience the best flavors and farm fresh food every day.
Great. And what would you say are some top highlights or top places that you would recommend people stop in to check out?
One of my favorites would definitely be Blue Groves Farms. Delicious blueberries, organic blueberries, and in fact the largest organic blueberry grower in southwestern Ontario. So they are the sweetest, juiciest blueberries you've ever tasted.
Incredible. And if people are looking to get out and about, A new tour guide? Do we have one for 2023?
Absolutely. We do have a new tour guide for 2023, and we have some exciting new places in the tour guide, as well as a great list of events. So from Canada Day celebrations to other activities you can enjoy with the family.
And where can people find that guide?
Absolutely. You can pick up a copy of the guide at the Elgin County Administration Building at 450 Sunset Drive. So feel free to drop in anytime and drop into the tourism office there, or you can pick one up during the summer months at the Port Stanley Visitor Center, and they're also available throughout the community at different businesses.
Oh, and you mentioned the Port Stanley Visitor Center. That's a service that your office provides.
Absolutely. So we provide the service from May to September each year.
Great. And so people from outside the area or local to the area, what can they see when they pop in the visitor center?
Absolutely. So the visitor center is a great place to pop in and get recommendations and information on the best places to eat in Port Stanley, or different tourism attractions to visit. If you're at the beach, after you've enjoyed the beach, maybe you'd like to enjoy an ice cream or take a little drive in the country. So if you stop by at the visitor center, they will help develop an itinerary that's perfect for you and your family.
Great, thanks Caroline. Now, for more information and to find all these great resources, where can people go?
Absolutely. So you can follow us on social media. So that's at Elgin County, or you can visit elgintourist.com.
Great. Thanks so much, Caroline. We really appreciate you taking the time today.
Thank you very much, Kate.
And so make sure to get out and come explore Elgin County. We'll be right back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas and Elgin.
Tuesday.
It turns out that it was the cats that got to the nest.
We want people to understand the plight of Canadian wildlife. It's not getting better.
Healed, released, free. On Rogers TV. Find out what's happening in your community by watching St. Thomas City Council. Mondays at 5 p.m. on Rogers TV Channel 13 or streamed at rogerstv.com.
I've been a volunteer with Rogers TV for 5.5 years. I was about 14 years old, and I already knew that I wanted to be in TV, and my mom went searching online and she found Rogers TV and said, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?" And I said, "Absolutely," and we submitted an application that night. I've learned a lot about community and growth and just kind of just being an all-arounder. I like doing a lot of different positions like camera and audio and graphics, and having that variety and connecting with peers alike. It's not a complete commitment. You can kind of do a couple shifts a month and just do things that actually interest you, productions that actually interest you. I'd just say go for it. You only live once, and if it's something you're definitely considering, why not?
Back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas, Elgin. We are joined by Christy Gee, owner and operator of Harbour Cheesecake. Welcome to the show, Christy.
Thank you so much for having me.
What inspired you to start a cheesecake store in Port Stanley?
Well, it really dates back to probably like early 2000s. I started doing cake decorating and found that I was pretty good at it, and I really enjoyed it. It was just a bit of a stress reliever from everyday work. But I did get a little tired of it, and I got away from it a little bit, and I just needed to get away from my career. We'd always talked about having a business where it would be what we would do, and cheesecake just seemed to fit the profile because there was nothing else around here like it.
Great. And what is cheesecake? Tell us.
Delicious.
Other than being delicious.
So what we do, it is New York style cheesecake. Each piece is decorated individually, so we dip it in either white, dark, or orange chocolate, and then we top it. So it's more of a decadent dessert than it is just having a slice of cheesecake. We have been compared to the Cheesecake Factory. We have been told it's better. I personally think it is, but that's me being a little biased. But it's taken right off.
Great. And your location, where are you in Port Stanley?
It is a little tough to find. We are located along the waterfront, so rather than the street side, you have to actually park and walk down by the water. So we're forcing you to walk your calories off before you eat it. And it's right along the Inn on the Harbour in the yellow condo building, so one of the commercial units out back.
Great. And you were one of the finalists on the pitch,
Correct.
Business Resource Center, the pitch. What were you pitching?
I was pitching because we had a lot of plans coming up. One of the plans is already taking place, so we are moving, well, not moving, but we are opening in Elgin Center. So even though I was a runner-up, I didn't win, it did not stop us. So we are pursuing that. And then we were also pitching because we are going to be moving locations, hopefully maybe in a year, to a bigger location, something that is a bit more visible for people and kind of gives us the ability to do a little bit more than what we're doing right now.
Great. And you're going to be at the Elgin Center as your second location.
Yes, right in the food court. So right next to Subway and Traditional Fish and Chips, right in the middle in the corner there. Perfect location. We are almost done. Hopefully April 1st, we will get open.
Great. And so now we know what cheesecake is and where we can find you. What kind of cheesecakes do you have?
So, like I said, it all starts out the same base. So it's New York style cheesecake, but then we amp it up. So we have turtle, we have your score, we have a few coming out for Easter. We try to bring in special ones for special occasions. Sometimes in the summer, it might be just something fresh, like I had a lemon one. And it's just trying to keep things fresh, keep things new for people to want to come in and try more.
Mm-hmm. And do you make the cheesecake in-house or do you source it from somewhere else?
I have it brought in. Currently, I'm not allowed to do any cooking or baking in my current location. We will be able to do a bit more in the new location, but the quantity, I can't keep up with it.
So that's how busy you are?
Yeah.
Great, great. And do you do anything outside of cheesecake?
Cheesecake is usually like the forefront of everything, but I do curl. So that's taking up my winter months, but in the summer I don't have time to do anything. So just hopefully I want to spend a little bit of time, with family and friends, but summers are tough.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. And how can people find more information about Harbour Cheesecake?
So we do have a website, so harborcheesecake.ca. We are also on Instagram, we're on Facebook. If you have questions, pop into the store and ask. If you have any suggestions on maybe what you want to see moving forward, we're open to anything really at this point.
Great. Well, thanks so much for your time, Christy.
No
we really
problem.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin.
My name is Teresa Sherrill. I've been a volunteer at Rogers TV for about 15 years. I decided to become a volunteer when my husband saw an ad for volunteers in the newspaper, and so I made an appointment and came down. I'm a retiree, so I had lots of time on my hands, so this was an opportunity to learn some new skills. When I first came to Rogers TV, the setup was different, and so we learned different skills like operating a camera, learning how to do sound, and greeting guests as they came on the set. If you're wondering whether you are committed to volunteering at Rogers TV, take the time to come down, speak with the production manager or the producer, and take a look around the studio, and you'll find that this is a completely different volunteer position that you'll find rewarding.
Welcome back to Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin. We are joined by Jackie Anger, author of You Have a Friend in Foster Care. Welcome, Jackie.
Thank you so much.
Tell us a little bit about who Jackie is.
Well, Jackie is. I am a Belmont resident, proudly living in Central Elgin. I am a mom to two fabulous kiddos. I work in childcare here in St. Thomas, and I am now very newly an author, so this is very exciting for me.
And what inspired you to write this book?
The closer I get to 40, the more I realize I need to do more to check those items off of the bucket list. And I've always said, I want to be an author, I want to do something. And it was always like a someday thing. This is my now thing. So I'm adding this to the list of things that I do sometimes. And in some of the work that I've done in St. Thomas-Elgin community, I've had the pleasure of working with some youth who are aging out of the foster system. I've worked with children who are part of the foster system. I have many dear friends who are foster parents, and I have some personal ties to fostering and adoption through my own dad, who was adopted. And I was getting a lot of questions from my son about the work that I did and how I did it. And as I was making notes about things that make really good social stories, really good ways to connect with young people through books and literature, this topic was really standing out for me, and it really came on strong. And I knew that I had to start putting some words behind it as a way to explain what foster care is to kids, and if they know someone who's in foster care, how to support them better, how to just show up and be their friend through the changes that are happening. Just wanting to help my own children, other children connect and show up for their friends.
Amazing. Now, who would you say, or what age group would you say this book is geared for?
Kinder is really the key age group. I definitely think 4 to 7 is kind of the base. Kinder is perfect. It's done in rhyme. We know that kinders connect best with rhyme, and reinforcing literature and reinforcing literacy is something that's really important to me through the work that I do. So I wanted a way that we could kind of keep kids' attention, but also have them learn about some subject matter that really needs to be shared in a different way for that age group.
And how do you tell the story?
I tell the story from the perspective of an adult connecting with a child about their friend being in foster care. And it's asking the child to imagine that their friend is in foster care, and it's done in a way that helps the children navigate through how a child entered into care, what kind of supports they might be getting while they're in care, and what happens next.
Once somebody reads the book and they're interested in more information on foster care and the program, who should they contact?
They should contact Family and Children's Services of St. Thomas-Elgin. I am not tied to the organization, so to say, but they are a wealth of information about how to begin their journey into fostering, how to connect with other foster families through their system. I know at the YWCA there is a program called Youth in Transition, and it is geared to young people who are aging out of the foster care system and supporting them in their quest to independence. So I definitely think there are lots of local resources that are able to shed more light on something like this. May happens to be Foster Awareness Month, so part of what I'm going to be doing in the month of April leading up to it is donating a portion of whatever books are sold throughout that month and donating it to the programs in the community that are supporting foster kiddos, so that they can, if there's something that they need to enhance their programs, if there's something that they would benefit from having access to, we can just, add a little bit into it.
Incredible. And where are you selling the books, and where can people find them?
Books can be found on Amazon.ca, and by searching my name, Jackie Anger, or the title of the book, You Have a Friend in Foster Care. You can also find it online through JackieAngerBooks.com. And I will be having a small event to launch the book, but date is to be determined, so that'll be fun.
Great. Well, we're so grateful that you added this to the list and checked it off. And there's a new resource out there for our children to understand foster care a little bit better, and for the families as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great. We'll be right back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin.
Calling all journalism students. Omni Television is once again awarding scholarships to qualified students pursuing a career in third language journalism.
When I got this scholarship, I felt a lot of gratitude, and it's also a great chance to learn about what third language journalism is.
Omni is home to a variety of locally produced current affairs programs and daily national newscasts, broadcast in 6 languages. To learn more about Omni scholarships, visit omnitv.ca/scholarships.
I'm a community producer. I love all things nature and conservation, so that's kind of what I put into the show. When I started making my videos for my job, I didn't think that they were definitely TV caliber, but you know, now that I see it in action, I'm definitely happy that I took the chance, and I worked with Scott, a producer at Rogers, and I think it's definitely worth it to take a chance and to ask and see what your project could become. Have fun with it. You know, you don't have to be perfect. I think I'm a pretty good example of that. You know, reach out to people, if you're gonna do kind of like an interview thing. But yeah, just have fun.
We are back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin. We are now joined by Darren Connolly, Horton Market Coordinator. Thanks for joining the show.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your role as the Market Coordinator.
So I'm the Market Coordinator / Rural Business Advisor for the Horton Market. And we have the regular season farmers market that we run, and I connect with vendors, help coordinate the season, who's going to be at the market, ensuring that we're always at 51% farmers because we are a true farmers market. And then I also work through the season coordinating the Christmas market, and now we have the Winter at Horton that was open in January, and it's open until the end of April.
Fantastic. And how long has the Horton Market been in the community?
Since 1878, so there's quite a history to the market, for sure.
Incredible. And you currently work with the St. Thomas Economic Development Corporation. How long has that organization operated the market?
It's just been a couple of years, but for me, I came in last year, and it has been fantastic to be part of the team. And really, the market is almost like an incubator in itself, having up to 45, 50 businesses every week at the market, small businesses, farmers, and I encourage people to come out and meet.
Great. So the market started as a summer event, right?
Yes.
What's the summer season?
So it runs from Mother's Day weekend, so May 13th, right through. This year it will run until November. And then in November, we also have, in mid-November, the Christmas market. And then after that, we'll proceed to the Winter at Horton.
Great. Now, you mentioned 51% farmers to be a true farmers market.
Yes.
And is there a location as well that has to be tied to that?
So it's Elgin County producers. So like from across Elgin County, 60 kilometers within range of the market. So you'll have farmers from West Elgin, east part of Elgin, close to St. Thomas as well. So all over the county.
Great. And who are some of the vendors you can expect to see on a regular basis?
Houses there, our fields, spicers inside. There's so many. There's on a weekly basis there being 45 different vendors. I feel bad mentioning a couple and not all. So just keeping in mind that we have, honey producers, syrup producers, different meat producers, eggs, milk, dairy, thinking of those different groups as well. So it's not just fruit and vegetables, it's everything from syrup to fruit and vegetables to honey to meat.
And a new addition to farmers markets too is the ability to have wine and beer, correct?
Yes, so we do have wine producers and 3 different breweries coming out to the market as well.
That's pretty exciting.
Yes, and every week it's a different brewery, so they share their time at the market, so they're in the same space, but different companies each time.
Oh, that's a nice community collaboration.
Yeah, they just rotate through, and it's great to have.
And it's also a community space. So do you have events that continue on throughout the season as well?
We do. So sometimes we're like this year we're looking at having different markets. So we may have an antique market. We'll trial that this year. We'll have sometimes people will come in and host a meeting at the market, And as we continue to grow, we're hopeful at some point we will put a commercial kitchen in the interior of the market, which will allow for different things to happen as well.
Great. And so the space is available for private events?
Yeah, smaller events. So you might look at it as a meeting space, but as we grow and shift into different opportunities, I think we'll see different things happening at the market too.
Great. And you mentioned winter at the market is a new reiteration. Can you tell us a little bit about what that's entailed?
It's just the interior portion of the market, and it's condensed space. So we have up to 20 different vendors every Saturday from 10 until 2, and then whereas the regular market runs from 8 until noon. So this runs from 10 till 2, and it's been a real success this year. And we do rotate some vendors through as well. So it's not necessarily the same vendors each time, but it really is more of a food type market, and it's been a great success this year.
Great. And then you have the Christmas market as well.
The Christmas market is our biggest market. So this past year we had over 80 different vendors, and it was a cold market, but every year is a little bit different, and we'll start planning for the Christmas market probably in July. We'll begin. So, and then it takes a number of months to bring together.
Great. And what sets the Christmas market apart from the other two?
I think it's just the time of year. People are preparing for that Christmas shop, and you'll have more artisans involved at the Christmas market, but all of our regular vendors are there as well.
You know, as you mentioned, the vendors change and you get different vendors from week to week. Is there a way to stay on top of who the vendors are?
It's posted weekly on, I think, Thursday on Facebook and Instagram. So watching on the Horton Farmers Market Facebook page. You can also take a look at Instagram as well to see those updates. So they are posted, and there's usually a vendor's map for the summer. In the winter, we just post the vendors that are going to be inside.
Great. So Mother's Day starting at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Yeah, 8 a.m. till noon, and that's May 13th.
Wonderful. Well, we can't thank you enough for your time, and we really look forward to the kickoff of the Horton Market. It's the kickoff to summer, really, isn't it?
It is, and we're really excited about it, and thank you so much for having me.
Great, thanks, Darren.
Okay, thanks.
And that wraps up our show for Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin. We look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Calling all journalism students, Omni Television is once again awarding scholarships to qualified students pursuing a career in third language journalism.
I think all journalism students and aspiring journalists should take the time to learn more about third language and ethnic journalism, and I think the Omni Scholarship is a great way to raise awareness on that.
Omni is home to a variety of locally produced current affairs programs and daily national newscasts, broadcast in 6 languages. To learn more about Omni Scholarships, visit omnitv.ca/scholarships.
I'm Nicole Martin, the proud ambassador for the Comfort Bear program. Comfort Bears provide these cuddly bears to local children who are terminally ill, facing trauma, or battling a serious